Hello, my friends. I want to talk today about a topic that I think is very interesting to many people because it's addressing issues of human sexuality, and people tend to be pretty curious about sex. And although they might don't want to talk about it, or they might don't want to um, publicly talk about uh, topics that might be taboo in groups of society, people tend to be very interested in this topic. And so I want to talk about the difference between gender identity, or now it's called gender dysphoria by the new DSM definition, and sexual orientation. Now, sexual orientation, I want to talk about that. I believe is how people are born, and it doesn't really talk about sexual preference. For instance, a preference would be something that you prefer. Do you prefer tacos, or do you prefer pizza? Do you prefer Coke, or do you prefer Pepsi? Do you prefer carrots, or do you prefer broccoli? So that speaks about what is your preference. Sexual orientation, from my perspective as a clinician, it's about how you were born. Now, depending who you ask, you might receive different answers, but for me, that's how I view it. And now, gender dysphoria, or gender identity, talks about how the individual view himself or view herself. For instance, if I was a trans person, I might have been born as a biological female, but through the years of my development, I discovered that I am a trans man, meaning that the way I think, the way I view the world, the way I feel about myself is from a male perspective. Now, if I was a trans woman, that means that I was born a boy, but during my years of development, I discovered that really my way of thinking, my way of feeling, my way of viewing myself is of a female. That has nothing to do with my orientation of who I'm sexually attractive to. Now, human sexuality talks about your sexual orientation. Are you attractive towards people of your opposite sex? Meaning, if I'm a heterosexual male, I'll be attracted to a female. If I'm a homosexual, I'll be attracted to a male. Now, there could be trans people who are also homosexuals, meaning I could be a trans man, meaning I was born as a woman, but I identify myself as a man, but I'm attractive to the same gender. So people must say, you should remain as a female, but that doesn't address the issue of my gender identity. My gender identity is that I have the right to identify with whoever gender I feel I belong to. Sexual orientation speaks of who I am attracted to. So in that, it speaks of the sexual attraction that I might have towards same gender, towards opposite gender, or I might be attractive to both genders. People who are bisexual, people who are attractive to men and women equally. So I think we need to be able to understand and be able to use proper terminology when we talk about gender identity and sexual orientation. Both are related, linked somehow about human sexuality, but one is about sexual attraction, and the other one is about my gender identification. Okay, I hope this information was able to clarify the distinction between a trans woman or a trans man, and a homosexual man, a bisexual man, or a heterosexual man or female. Okay? If you have any questions, please ask me your questions on my website, which is www.counselingbyroberto.com. Until the next time, love yourself, accept yourself, and ensure that people respect you. See you next time. Bye-bye.